I will redo this one. This is a question of how intelligent are you? Are you patient? If you're patient, you're basically dirt as far as optometry is concerned. You don't know anything, you can't learn anything, and you're not going to do anything. This is true of Joey Allen, but it's not true of Rupa Wong. Her kids aren't dirt. She wants to help them with prevention. And this is the only way you'll get prevention from an ophthalmologist. This is prevention while you still have 20/20. I will, of course, say 20/50, 20/40. And here a commentary by Rafelson, where he presented the idea to an educational conference of optometrists. And work done by an optometrist, you can read it. And they talked about when you use glasses on children, and he said less than -5 and more than plus a half, 1.5. And Rachel said, I don't agree with that. And then he later on, his interview was 1936. Did a school survey, kids are reading at 4 inches and 6 inches. Now, the crucial point is this. You can't talk to an ignorant person. At the point, the optometrists think you are all ignorant, beyond reason and logic, beyond capability of doing anything. You may as well forget optometry and be involved with prevention. An ophthalmologist is, but never an optometrist. Specifically, Joey Allen. Joey Allen would even help his own children with prevention. Rupa Wong does. Rupa uses atropine. The plus can do the same thing, but I get the question is a +1 diopter. And this is Rafelson's suggestion. I suggest an intelligent electrical engineer will understand that when he's measuring 20/50 or 20/40, it's got to be about a +2 used by the person himself. And the refractive measurements must be electrical by the optometrist using his own test lenses. You can use very vision glasses and that sort of thing, but it's 100% transfer of authority, measurement, competence to you. If you won't take that competence, then you're not going to make it. Remember, measuring the refractive state of the fundamental eye is not medicine. It might be optometry, but it's engineering science. And I learned to do it quite well. And I learned the danger of the minus lens. I would never, that's why I keep my refraction positive. And then here Rafelson talks about the plus lens. Okay, plus lens. You can't do a blanket plus lens on people. I know Rafelson had a good idea, but either parents and child understand it or it will not work. A little unrealistic of Rafelson. And so with that suggestion, the other optometrist said, saying that he might agree with the theory that prevention is possible when you're 20/50. But he said it wouldn't be practical. And the reason it's not practical, it would not be practical for the simple reason the parents won't understand it, don't stand for it. I agree. The ignorance of the parent is terrible. They won't stand for prevention. They won't understand the use of the plus lens as I use it for prevention. So it does take an electrical engineer who designs control systems to understand the reason why. If you don't understand the reason why, then there's nothing I can say that will change you. I also won't talk about recovery much beyond 20/50 because the data from the Eskimos, which Rafelson did not have, shows how critical it is to get rid of the near work when your refractive state is 0. I could say go down to -0.5, But that's a point where you now have a question of ignorance of the parent, not understanding, and won't stand for it. If you don't stand for prevention when you're 20/50, then you'll lose your vision permanently because the down rate is half diopter per year. Reject prevention when you're 20/50, and that's pretty much it. Now, I expect to be talking to engineer scientists, not to the public. I don't insult people, but it does take a degree of engineering and science to understand the whole idea of the eye's behavior from the beginning. So Rayful said he's going to write a book about it to the parents, but the parents don't understand it. So Rafelson was great, but you got to think about the science and the person himself, and he must think about his science also. Rupa's doing it because she had control of her child, and she knows the consequences if she doesn't stop it before you're actually nearsighted. And that's the difference between Rupa Wong saving her kid's vision for life and Joey Allen, who just wants to give you a strong minus lens and tell you that the public won't stand for it. And that's prevention. So that's why I must make my own measurements, and I'm very happy to do so as an engineer. But I will never trust somebody who tells me that the public's ignorant and they won't stand for it. He's probably right. He probably is 100% right. The public is ignorant and won't stand for prevention. But then who helps you? Who does help you? You really have to think about that one. And thanks for your interest.